Welcome in my cooking channel, Czech Cookbook, and today we will be making a blueberry marmalade because it's summer and there is plenty of fruit and we make marmalade so then it lasts through winter. This recipe, I don't really like oversweeted marmalades and I'm not sure if you guys do or not, so I reduce the sugar. This is how we like it in Czech. We just don't really use that much sugar. So this recipe will make about 4 pint jars. So for this recipe we will need 2 pounds of blueberries. These are organic, so I would recommend to get organic stuff. It's funny because these blueberries are so big. Like, I don't remember seeing in Czech Republic such a big blueberries. We used to go in a forest and we would go collect blueberries. You know, they were just wildly growing, and they are so tasty. Just pick it out of the bushes, and these are giganto and they are so good. Then we will need 3 tablespoons of classic pectin, 2 cups of sugar, and 1/3 of a cup of water. So let's start on this amazing recipe. After the marmalade is cooked, you can either just put it in the hot sterilized jars where you put just lid on. This way it will last 3 weeks. But I like to use it for longer, so I'm using a water bath. And this way it will last up to a year, which is great because you have for sure like no possibility of forming bacteria or mold. So I recommend doing that. You will need a big pot so all the jars can fit in. You can use your canning pot if you have one. Mine is too big, so I just picked big pot. And then on the bottom you have to put something because the jars cannot be put directly on the bottom. So I have just something like that, or you can use a wire tray, just anything that can lift up the jars from the bottom so they don't touch it. And now it's time to wash our blueberries. But before we wash them, let's put first a hot water into the pot. The reason why is because we want to sterilize our jars and lids, and they have to be boiling. So let's fill up the pot pretty high so the jars are covered up. Next step is to wash these jars. I'm using just jars that we ate our blueberry marmalade preserve from the store, and I like to reuse these. So let's just wash it with soapy water and let's put it in our pot that we want to have for boiling. Our jars and lids are ready to be boiled and sterilized. So turn on the flame on high and wait till the water starts to boil and then boil it about 10 minutes. Here I have 2 pounds of blueberries and check this out. They are giganto. Wow, it's amazing. This is about 6 cups, just in case you guys want to measure in cups. So let's rinse these. Since these blueberries are so big, we will need to mash them a little bit. So just covered up the bottom. And I like big chunks of blueberries in my marmalade, so I won't mash all of them. Just get a potato masher and try to press them. And as much as you want, you can press all of them. But we like the big blueberries on our bread. So here they are smashed, not all the way because we like the chunk. So let's add more stuff. We have 1/3 of a cup of water. And 3 tablespoons of classic pectin. Now let's stir it and put it on a stove and cook it till it starts to boil. Put the lid on, this way they will cook faster, and it's almost boiling. And our blueberries are cooking here. You will need to stir this blueberry sauce so it doesn't burn and stick to the bottom. And let's wait till it starts to boil. You have to wait till the whole thing is boiling, and as you see, it's right now. It's starting to create a foam. And it's amazing how out of blueberries we have purple berries. Oh, look at that color. Now it's time to add 2 cups of sugar. And you need to wait till it comes back to the boil and all the sugar melts, because it will stop eventually boiling because of all the sugar we just added. And bring it back to boil, and then set a timer for 1 minute, and then the marmalade is done and we can fill our jars. All time I'm cooking this on a high flame, and I keep stirring so the sugar can melt. Our jars are sanitized, so let's take them out. Now that's not so easy here. I'm using this amazing tool, and if you want to know what I'm using and you want to get those things, then you can go to my website. I have all the links, so I made it easy for you guys so you can get it. So let's get all the jars out. Of course the stickers are getting off, which is fine. I don't need them. Now for the lids, I like to use these tongs, so be careful. Just grab it, set it aside to cool off so we can screw the lids on. And we will use the same pot and the same water to can our marmalade. Our blueberry marmalade is done. It's been boiling for 1 minute, so let's turn it off. Here I have my filling station. I recommend using this funnel because it helps to get it right inside and not all over the glass. And you want to fill it while the jars are still hot. Don't forget that, so the hot marmalade doesn't crack them. Let's fill it up. You want to keep a little bit from the top, little space, so don't fill it up all the way. Let's give an ½ inch. Now let's do another one. See, like that. Don't wanna too full. Let's put the lid on. This is ready to be canned. Now I will do the rest. It looks runny when you put it in, see, but that's just deceiving because it's too hot. So you need to wait after we can this till next day, till it's nice and cold, then it will be ready to eat. Also make sure to use a big enough funnel with a big hole, because otherwise the blueberry will stuck in there and then you cannot fill it. So this is done, this is the last one, and now as you see we have, we have 4 full ones, and now we can can them. Let's turn on the water. It's still hot, so it will be easy to start the boil. And let's grab these jars that are closed off and let's put them in. Be careful so they don't touch each other. They have to be covered up with water. Make sure it's 1 inch above the glasses, the lids, the water. So now they're 4 in. I'll add a little bit more water. Now bring it to boil. You see all the air bubbles. Bring it to boil, and when it starts to boil, boil it for 15 minutes. Add a little more water so it's at least 1 inch above the lids. Let's cover it up and cook these. 15 minutes of boiling are done. So let's get, I just turned it off. Now let's get our jars out. And now you will want to wait for that beautiful sound of popping. This way we know that the lid got sealed, and we need to hear 4 pops. So we know that all of them sealed up correctly. You heard that? That was one of the pops. I want to show you how it looks when it's done. You have to wait till next day and let it another pop. That's a great sign. Let it wait till next morning. Just keep it here on a towel, having it cooling it off, and then you can eat it. So this is, I actually canned this one yesterday. Ooh, another one. And this is how it looks. So this is the consistency, which is great. So tasty. So if you try it, it's super easy, and it wasn't that long. It's super fast too. So let me know how you like it. I wanted to show you something. I could hear only 3 pops, but I have 4 jars. So the way you can tell that it didn't pop, it's by, I noticed this one, it didn't pop. So look, it springs back the middle. Here, nothing. This one springs back, which means this is not sealed properly. So I would recommend put it in a fridge and eat it as a first. You will need a big pot. The reason why I want to sterilize this and cook it in a water bath, but I like it to have it like so find something like this or some wire, you know, I don't know. Ale blueberry